Good evening. We're going to reconvene in the open session and start with where's yours?
They're here.
Oh, you're in the closed session. What?
Here we go. Right there.
So we need adoption of the final agenda. Dr. Zalfa.
Changes to the final agenda under division items, human resources. Late material has been added for item number 2. Under the consent agenda, business division, bid award data has been included for item numbers 37, 39, 40, 41, 42, 44, 46, and 47. Late material has been provided for item numbers 6, 11, 12, 25, 29, 38, and 45, and delete the bid for item number 43.
Great. We've got the staff's recommendation on the amended final agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The next item is approval of the minutes from our regular meeting of May 4th, 2026. Is there a motion?
President Beatty, the flag salute?
Oh, forgot the
I can read
birthday. Dear, ladies and a flag salute here.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we'll take a motion to approve the minutes of the May 4th meeting.
Motion. Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next is our report from closed session. In closed session, the Board of Trustees approved the following public employee administrative appointments. Jeremy Salcido was appointed Site Administrator, Constellation and Special Education starting July 1st. Catherine Young was appointed Special Education Administrator at the Educational Service and Innovative Programs Division beginning July 1st. Kelly Wells was appointed Special Education Administrator, Educational Services beginning July 1st. Christian Lopez was appointed Assistant Principal of Administration, Miramonte High School beginning July 1st. Miguel Garcia was appointed Assistant Principal of Administration, East Bakersfield High School beginning July 1st. And Manuel Vasquez was appointed Assistant Principal of Administration, South High School beginning July 1st. In closed session, the Board of Trustees also approved the following classified management appointments. Ashley Salazar Ortega was appointed Coaches Compliant and Clearances and Training Director at Special Support Services beginning July 1st. No other action was taken during closed session. No action was taken on the appointment of an aquatics program coordinator. Let's see. It's closed session. And we need a motion to approve the student expulsion and a reinstatements report.
Motion.
Second?
There's a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Dr. Zalfa, communications.
All communications have been forwarded to the board.
Superintendent's report.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things to report tonight. I'm actually going to start with word that I just got on Friday, which is super exciting. Nico Patalingug just won the gold medal at the Skills USA National Competition in the Automotive Refinishing Technology High School Competition. So he is a national champion. He's also the first ever gold winner to come from California in that competition. He just graduated from Golden Valley High School and was enrolled in the ROC Collision and Refinishing Technology program this year and the Auto Tech program during his junior year. He is a great kid. I had the opportunity to meet him at the Kern County School Board Association's dinner this past February, where he participated as part of a panel discussion talking about the impact that career technical education and vocational education has on students. An amazing kid, infectious enthusiasm for life, and just super proud of him and the work. His teacher is Mario Lizarraga, and again, really a legendary name in terms of Kern High School District CTE programs, and just think that it's an absolutely fabulous opportunity to recognize one of our kids, one of our teachers, as well as one of our programs, and the impact that the programs that we provide for our students They match up with any program you'll find anywhere in the country, and the impacts they have are as great as any program could have on the life of a young man or woman. So congratulations to Nico on that. But we did have a few other things happening in the district in addition to that. A couple weeks ago, we celebrated graduation week in the Kern High School District, and we celebrated it like never before. A once-in-a-100-year, once-in-a-century rainstorm rolled through Kern County right in the middle of our graduation week. But despite that, we still had an amazing set of graduations, incredible enthusiasm. Congratulations to all of our sites, their administrative teams, the parents, the community as a whole. Over 9,860 students graduated from Kern High School District programs during that week, and we're looking very much forward to doing this again in about 3 more weeks, because we have another graduation coming as a result of summer school and the summer programs that our students are participating in. So our drive to get to 10,000 graduates, certainly believe that's within reach, and believe that that's just an amazing statistic, but more importantly, an amazing impact on, right now, over 960 students' lives that they've graduated from high school. That's an accomplishment that they can never be taken away from them. I mentioned our summer programs. Right now we're in the middle, well, kind of in the middle of summer school. Summer school is a 4-week program now, and we just concluded our first day of our second week. And so the credits are soon to be earned by our students, the grades, et cetera, by them. We have over 18,620 students enrolled in our summer school program currently. 18,600 students currently enrolled in our summer school programs. An incredible opportunity for our students to make up for their deficiencies, to fill their gaps in learning, and also to get ahead, also to see programs that maybe they're not necessarily familiar with. And that doesn't include the hundreds of kids that are participating in CTE programs through our middle school cooperative between ourselves and several of our larger feeder districts as a result of the CTIG grant that we partnership with them. So not only do we have 18,600 kids in summer school, we also have several hundred kids participating in these middle school programs and getting a taste of what the Kern High School District has to offer. So feel like that's a pretty good way for us to kick off our summer. Then I have one other item that I wanted to make an announcement on also tonight. We were told recently that the National Association of School Public Relations Officers, it's the PIO for the entire high school, educational community throughout the country, recently awarded the Kern High School District a Golden Nugget Award for the activities surrounding Principal Partners Day, recognizing Principal Partners Day as a exemplary program for bringing community partners onto our campuses. So congratulations to a heck of a lot of people that really work hard in order to put that together, specifically folks in my office, Grazie Ashmore and Elisa Machado and Veronica. Thank you all very much, but also thank you obviously to our principals, because they host half the day at their school sites, and these are the partners that they bring onto their campus every day to work with our kids. But this is an opportunity for us to pay a little bit of thanks to them through the Principal Partners Day program. And then obviously thank you to all of our partners. It would be a heck of a thing if we threw this party and nobody showed up. So we're pretty happy that people still find a lot of value in the Kern High School District, what we do, what we offer, and the partnerships that we're able to come together with. So with that, that's the superintendent's report on district activities.
Next item, recognition.
So my next item, I look out in the audience, and there's a lot of folks who are really happy right now.
Yeah.
Like more than ever. So it's that time of year where we recognize the educators and staff members who have worked their careers with the Kern High School District and have decided that it is, in fact, a greener pasture on the other side, and they've made the difficult decision to retire. So at this time, we'll be recognizing retirees who have at least 10 years of service with the Kern High School District. And I'll turn it over to Megan Greger to provide introductions and some of the comments about the retirees' activities. President Beatty, if you could join me in front of the podium for a picture with the retirees. As you hear your name, please come up and join President Beatty and myself.
Thank you. Our first retiree this evening is Yvette Heasley, a teacher on special assignment at the district office who's retiring after 11 years of service. Please give her a round of applause. Yvette is excited to explore the outdoors by mountain biking across the United States, camping, and enjoying creative pursuits such as crafting and making her own kombucha. Most of all, she looks forward to cherishing time each day with her husband and dogs. Yvette will always appreciate the opportunity she was given to share her ideas about education and contribute to the district's vision. She's also grateful for the wonderful colleagues she had the privilege of working with throughout her career. Congratulations. Next is Debbie Bailey, a teacher at the Discovery Center, retiring after 13 years of service. Debbie is excited to pursue her career in real estate and lending while enjoying time aboard her yacht in the Channel Islands. She also looks forward to traveling abroad and embracing new adventures in the next chapter of life. Debbie will always cherish the lifelong friendships she built with her colleagues and the opportunity to make a meaningful, positive difference in the lives of her students. Congratulations. Next is Isabel Boyd, a teacher at Arvin High School, retiring after 20 years of service. Isabel is looking forward to enjoying a greater freedom in retirement, including visiting her hometown of Paris twice a year, maintaining an active lifestyle at the gym, and pursuing her love of art. Most of all, she is eager to spend more time reading and embracing the joy of being in charge of her own time. Isabel deeply appreciates her time at Arvin High School, where she gained a strong appreciation for Hispanic culture and was inspired by the energy and spirit of her students. Her experiences have left a lasting impression and meaningful memories. Congratulations. Teresa Cooper-Nave, an instructional assistant in special needs mobility, is retiring after 20 years of service. Teresa is excited to travel, continue supporting East Bakersfield High School by volunteering at games, and spend treasured time with cheering on her grandchildren at their activities. Teresa will always cherish her amazing coworkers and the incredible special needs students she supported. Their smiles and resilience made every day meaningful and rewarding. Congratulations. Kathleen Conyer, a teacher at Stockdale High School, is retiring after 21 years of service. Kathleen plans to cherish time with friends and family both in Bakersfield and Seattle, and travel with her horses to explore national parks and enjoy a well-earned opportunity to relax after 34 years in education. She also looks forward to peaceful moments on the beach in Washington with her parents. Kathleen is proud to have helped students recognize that math can be enjoyable and empowering. She treasures the countless memories made with students across South High School, Shafter High, Arvin High, and Stockdale High, and is deeply appreciative of the many opportunities provided by the Kern High School District. Congratulations. Gina Herrera, a teacher at Arvin High School, is retiring after 22 years of service. Gina is excited to continue pursuing her artistic career and reaching new heights in the art world. She also looks forward to camping, enjoying nature, and traveling with her family and 2 dogs. Gina will always hold close the impact she made on her students, treasuring the many meaningful memories created throughout the years. Congratulations. Alicia Barton, a data control specialist 2, is retiring after 23 years. Alicia is looking forward to traveling in her trailer, exploring parks and beaches, and enjoying more quality time with her grandchildren. Alicia will always treasure the friendships she built throughout her career, many of which have become lifelong connections that she will carry into her retirement. Congratulations. Lou Ann Ross, a teacher at the Able Center, is retiring after 23 years of service. Lou Ann is excited to embark on an adventurous and fulfilling new chapter with plans to travel both within the United States and abroad, staying active through running and hiking and exploring opportunities in ministry. She looks forward to relocating to Texas, pursuing creative interests, expanding her Mary Kay business, learning how to fly fish, and spending meaningful time with family and friends, including the special joy of volunteering as a baby cuddler. Lou Ann will always treasure her students and the opportunity to support them on their journey to becoming their best selves. Congratulations. Lisa Strobel, a teacher at Shafter High School, is retiring after 23 years of service. Lisa is looking forward to an exciting new chapter as she relocates to Vancouver, Washington. She's eager to spend more time with her children, enjoy the cooler summers and beautiful green surroundings, and take advantage of opportunities to travel and explore. She will cherish the thoughtful surprise baby shower her IB chemistry students organized, as well as the many relationships she built with colleagues and friends. She especially appreciates the laughter shared during the lunch and incredible support and encouragement she received from students and colleagues. Congratulations, and grateful to now be cancer-free. Congratulations. Yolanda Diaz, a teacher at Ridgeview High School, is retiring after 28 years of service. Yolanda looks forward to focusing on her health and well-being, spending meaningful time with family, and exploring the many beautiful destinations throughout California. She's excited to enjoy a slower pace of life with time to read and pursue personal interests. Yolanda will cherish the smiles of her students and colleagues, as well as the heartfelt moments when former students return to thank her for helping them achieve their academic goals. Congratulations, Yolanda. Raquel Jones, an assistant director of budget, is retiring after 31 years of service. Raquel looks forward to enjoying more concerts and continuing her meaningful involvement with Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and the Bakersfield Ivy League Foundation, staying actively engaged in both community and service. Raquel will always remember the talented colleagues she worked with, whose dedication and expertise supported and strengthened student success. She takes pride in being part of a team that made a lasting impact on so many students and families. Congratulations, Raquel. Tammy Hammond, a teacher at Golden Valley High School, is retiring after 32 years of service. Tammy looks forward to enjoying a well-deserved and relaxing retirement, spending quality time with her family, and embracing a slower, more peaceful pace of life. Tammy will always cherish the many people she met along the way and the lasting friendships she built throughout her career. Congratulations, Tammy. Julie McGuire, a teacher at the Discovery Center, is retiring after 32 years of service. Julie looks forward to traveling with her husband and spending more quality time with her grandchildren. She's excited to complete a long-awaited DIY scrapbooking and sewing projects, as well as travel to experience some of the most iconic college football games. Julie will always treasure the amazing people she had the opportunity to work with, and she fondly reflects on her 18 years in the press box during football games and attending nearly 200 Independence high school games.
Wow.
Most of all, Most of all, she will cherish the many students she supported. Congratulations. Dave Boyd, Director of Human Resources, is retiring after 33 years. Dave is looking forward to traveling and enjoying quality time with his wonderful wife who is here tonight, happily embracing whatever adventures she has in store for them next. Dave reflects with gratitude on a career filled with meaningful connections, sharing that he truly loved every place he has worked and every colleague he has worked with. Being a part of such an exceptional organization has been a true joy and blessing. And Dave, we feel the same way from HR in the Kern High School districts. Congratulations, Dave. Esther Greenberg, a teacher at Centennial High School, is retiring after 33 years of service. Esther is looking forward to an exciting new chapter, living in the Pacific Northwest and traveling the world. She plans to visit places such as Alaska, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, and Denmark, embracing new cultures and meaningful adventures. Esther will always treasure the impact she had on her students, especially seeing how learning French opened doors to new cultures and global opportunities. She takes pride in watching her students grow into global citizens, from studying abroad in France to volunteering in the Peace Corps, experiences that reflect the lasting influence of her teaching. Congratulations. Joyce Brown, a teacher at Ridgeview High School, is retiring after 34 years of service. Joyce looks forward to traveling, especially exploring destinations across the United States and along the West Coast to spend more time with family. She is also excited to take on home improvement projects, including gardening, and to enjoy the freedom of setting her own schedule and pursuing the things that she loves at her own pace. She will always treasure the colleagues who became lifelong friends and the many students she connected with throughout her career. These relationships and experiences made her time with the Kern High School District both meaningful and memorable. Congratulations, Joyce. Thomas Johnson, a teacher at Liberty High School, is retiring after 34 years of service. Thomas looks forward to fulfilling a retirement filled with travel, meaningful volunteer work with several organizations, and spending quality time with family and friends. Thomas will greatly miss working alongside the outstanding teachers at Liberty High School who are deeply dedicated to student success. He considers it a true privilege to have taught such remarkable students throughout his career and will especially miss the daily interactions that made each day so rewarding. Congratulations, Thomas. Leland Pruitt, a teacher at Frontier High School, is retiring after 42 years of service. Leland is excited to begin a new chapter focused on his passion for photography, with plans to continue showcasing his work and earning recognition at the Kern County Fair. He also looks forward to supporting his daughter as she begins her own teaching journey, sharing his experience and guidance along the way. Leland reflects fondly on 22 wonderful years at West High School and 20 years at Frontier High School. He is grateful for the outstanding colleagues, administrators, and students who made his career meaningful and memorable. Congratulations. And finally, Christy Holder, a bus driver with transportation, retiring after 49 years of service. Christy looks forward to embracing whatever this new chapter brings with the freedom to relax, enjoy life, and spend quality time with those she cares about. Christy will always cherish the many friendships she built over the years, relationships that have become like family. She also reflects with pride on being part of a team dedicated and loyal employees who made her time with the Kern High School District truly meaningful. Thank you, Christy, for your service.
Wow.
there anyone who I missed? Wonderful. On behalf of the Kern High School District, congratulations to all of our retirees. Thank you so much for your service.
Obviously, congratulations is in order here, but also just a thank you to all of you that have served the Kern High School District for your careers and for all the lives that you've touched and for all the legacy that you leave behind. I'd be a little bit remiss if I didn't at least point out that Mr. Pruitt, it was a long time ago, but he was actually one of my teachers. I blame him for part of my success, so there you go. But congratulations to everybody. And then for my last item tonight, I've got a report on the annual recognition of first-in-class students. So first-in-class awards have been held annually for almost 20 years now, and they'll be held on June 25th at 6:30 p.m. in the Harvey Auditorium. And it's a chance for us to recognize the students who are the highest rated or ranking GPA students for their 10 through 12th year grade point averages, as figured out by a very complex, convoluted formula that I have Scott Odlin figure out for me, because he's a math guy. But we'll recognize over 150 students at this year's event. And a special thank you to Valley Strong and their sponsorship. They're a major sponsor of this particular program. And as a result of their generosity and support of this effort, we will be able to provide each of the recipients this year with a $500 scholarship in recognition of the hard work that they've done, and just to show appreciation for them from their community, hoping that someday if they decide to go to college, maybe they'll decide to come back home, because we need all the smart people we can get. So that concludes the superintendent's report tonight, and maybe one should take a brief recess.
Let's take a 2-minute break while anyone wants to slip out. That'd be great. We'll reconvene and start with hearing of citizens. Members of the public shall have an opportunity to address the Board of Trustees either before or during the board's consideration of each item of business to be discussed at regular or special board meetings. The time allotted will be 3 minutes per speaker, with the 15 minutes in each subject area. Maximum this time shall be used to address any item on the agenda or any matter of concern within the jurisdiction of the Kern High School District. Each person wishing to address the board must first be recognized by the presiding chair. The yellow speaker cards must be submitted before the board meeting starts. We'll start with, I believe it's a student, Sloan Grant, speaking on cheerleading. Welcome.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Sloan Grant, and I go to BHS, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the cheerleaders of the Kern High District getting the PE waiver. I played junior, varsity, tennis, and soccer this past year at Bakersfield High School. Both these sports were a huge time commitment as well as very physically strenuous. I'm so thankful that my effort in these sports made me eligible for the PE waiver. This waiver is crucial for my academic career to get ahead and achieve my goals for my high school career. All of this said, I believe that the effort and commitment apparent in all sports to get the PE waiver is more than comparable to the amazing amount of work the cheerleaders put in. As someone who gets another period open for my pursuits because of my work in my sports, I believe that cheer is more than eligible for the waiver. Their stunts and routines will never not be amazing to me. The work they put in every day after school at practice is very amazing. As a tennis and soccer athlete, I realize that cheer is more than standing on the sidelines. It's unfair to recognize the efforts students put into athletics and neglect the girls and boys that are always there cheering for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Reagan Brandon. Welcome.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Reagan Brandon, and I'm an incoming sophomore at Bakersfield High School, and it has recently come to my attention that athletes who participate in 2 sports earn a year of PE credits. But not every athlete, because cheerleaders do not count. The physical activity needed to participate in cheer is extreme. Going over dances over and over again, trying to get it perfect is extremely difficult and is very tiring. We have to go over dances over and over again, but we don't have breaks. We have like a tiny seconds where we can take a breather, and then we have to go over it again before we can even get water. And especially for stunting, we're lifting 100-pound girls in the air, and it builds more muscle than I ever have in PE, and it's very difficult. And I have gained a lot of strength just from doing that alone. Also, I have done my research, and the hours that cheer practices is more than any other sport in the whole school. Cheer practices for about 210 to 280 hours per year, not including football games, not including rallies, not including basketball games, just practice. Also not including competition cheer, which is a whole other thing. Band, like marching band, their hours are about 138 hours per year. And girls soccer is about 65 hours per year. When you add those two together, it is not add up to what cheer is, and cheer is more than both of those combined. And someone might argue that it counts, you have to do two sports to be able to count for the PE credits. However, cheer starts at the beginning of June, so cheer just started last week for me, and it ends at the end of February, which is a football season and a basketball season. So there are two different seasons that we are cheering for. Also, cheerleaders are active during the entire games. We're always having to, say for football games, we have to stand on our box, and even though it hurts our legs, we have to smile the entire time and like keep going, cheering, keep going on. And some offensive football players get to sit down for half the game while we have to keep standing up. And yeah, I hope that this has really changed your mind about what you think about cheer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we having anybody else speak on that?
There's no other speaker cards.
Just a question on that. Is that regulated by school policy, or is it at CIF, or on whether they get the...
We have a district policy on PE waivers that we'd have to take a look at.
Okay, awesome.
So if it's the board's pleasure, staff could give us an update. Just there's a history to this and deal, and so it's more than we can handle their public comment, but if the board wants, they contact our assistant superintendent, and we can put it on the agenda for next meeting, if that's the preference. I'll move to Dennis McLean.
Good evening, Superintendent, President Beatty, trustees, and staff. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I want to commend this board for its conservative actions representing the concerned parents and grandparents of this district. Special thanks to Derek Theisinger and those trustees who supported the resolution opposing biological men in female sports and locker rooms. We look for more positive action from your board to combat the poor leadership we have in Sacramento. We live in times where money, power, and crazed special interest groups have impacted our common sense way of life. We, the people, must stand up against this corrupt California government system our state has evolved into. Parents of this district will support your policies that will make the children of our community better. God bless you all.
Our next speaker is Catalina Maldonado. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Catalina Maldonado. I am a parent and an advocate for children, individuals with disabilities, and parental rights in our community. Beginning July 2026, AB 727 will require public schools serving grades 7th through 12th to print the Trevor Project Crisis Hotline on student identification cards alongside the existing 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. I'd like to be clear about something. I believe every student experiencing a mental health crisis deserves access to help and support. My concern is not about helping students in crisis. My concern is whether parents are being fully informed about the resources being connected to their children through a state mandate. Many parents may not realize that the Trevor Project also operates Trevor Space, an online community for users ages 13 to 24 years old. Parents think that they're getting a crisis hotline, but what many may not realize is that the hotline is connected to an affiliated online community where children can encounter groups, conversations, and opportunities for private communication with strangers. As part of my research, I personally created an account on Trevor Space. I am a woman in my 40s, and I was not asked to provide identification, proof of age, or any verification that I belonged in the age group the platform is intended to serve. If I was able to create an account so easily, then other adults can as well. During the legislative process, concerns about child safety were raised by individuals who testified before lawmakers, including a constitutional attorney and an investigator who has worked to recover exploited and missing children. While reviewing the platform, I found clubs described as, quote, safe spaces for littles, end quote, and caregiver clubs where users can role play as small children and parental figures. I found anti-parent clubs, polyamory clubs, witchcraft clubs, clubs associated with the Church of Satan, and clubs built around animal role-playing identities in which users identify as pets in search of masters. I also found pathways that allow users to move into private online conversations through Discord with people they have never met without their parents' knowledge or supervision. One of the largest communities I found was an autism-focused group. As the parent of a son with autism, that is deeply concerning because many children with autism struggle with social boundaries and stranger danger. For that reason, I respectfully ask that this board explore every legally available option for parent notification, transparency, and, if possible, an opt-out process for families who do not wish their children directed to this resource. Parents deserve transparency, parents deserve informed consent, and parents deserve the opportunity to opt out. Thank you for your time.
Mrs. Maldonado, Ms. Maldonado, we'll have, you don't need to come up. We're going to have someone from our superintendent's office contact you. We have your phone number here. I think that's it.
I have
Some very serious, potentially serious things, and I don't know all about it. We're not prepared to speak to you tonight, but someone will contact you.
understandable, and I will email all the board members all the documentation that I have on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then our final group, I believe it's a group from Arvin, so I'm just going to take these. First speaker being Maria Gonzalez. Welcome.
Good evening, members of the Kern County District Board and Superintendent. My name is Maria Gonzalez. As an Arvin High alumni and community member, I have watched this program go firsthand from just a handful of students and one teacher since my own son was an ag student. All of this has been possible because a teacher believed and the community supported his efforts. I am here tonight on behalf of concerned parents, alumni, and community members and supporters. Our concerns center on the ongoing lack of school site support, the slow process of the remodel of Arvin High 40-acre farm, and the farm budget. Despite previous discussions, several critical issues remain completely unsolved. First, the alfalfa field has not been properly maintained, an issue that will be addressed further by a community member. Second, the farm lacks basic and adequate infrastructure. There is no proper restroom facilities, meaning our Arvin High students are forced to use a porta potty. Basic necessities required to run a successful livestock farm program are entirely missing from the buildings. This 40-acre property was donated by local farmers solely for agriculture education. It is vital that this land is fully utilized and maintained to support the students it was intended to benefit. To ensure this, we request greater financial transparency. Specifically, we want to know the annual budget allocated to the Arvin High Farm and exactly how those funds are being spent on the farm, student projects, and operations. It is our understanding that the Regional Occupational Center, ROC, which has a much smaller farm, is allocated $60,000 a year for farm expenditures. Currently, Mr. Mills must use academy funds to help cover Arvin's operational costs. This is inequitable, as other academics on campus are able to spend their funds entirely on the student enrichment and field trips. Managing a 40-acre facility requires consistent daily oversight. We urge the district to hire a second farm maintenance employee. Additional staff is essential to oversee crop maintenance, address infrastructure needs, and ensure students have a safe, well-managed environment. By comparison, the smaller Rock Farm has 1 full-time and 2 part-time farm employees. Agriculture is the number one industry in the Arvin and Lamont community. Our students deserve facilities that reflect the importance and place of agriculture in Kern County. While we have been informed that a plan is being devised to address the farm, we respectfully request a formal update regarding these outstanding issues. We need a clear timeline for the necessary improvements, transparency on the budget, consideration for a second farm employee, and a plan to partner with community. We are here to help. Our students have waited long enough. Our staff needs support. We ask for action, accountability, and a clear timeline for change. We invite you to walk our school farm to see these conditions for yourself. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Martha Gonzalez. Martha Gonzalez.
Hello. My name is Martha Gonzalez. I'm also an alumni from Arvin High, graduated from 1997. I also have children that have been in the program, 2 of them that have graduated from Bakersfield College with ag degrees, and 1 that's pursuing a master's in ag education. And I also have another child that is in middle school that's also in the program. Sorry, kind of nervous. Let's see. The ag program is very important for us, like Maria said. We are part of we are called the Ag Unidos, which we provide services for the Arvin, Lamont, and Weepatch families that are in the ag program. And we're very disappointed in the way that I guess the principal has been treating the teachers and our students regarding the facilities and how the farm project hasn't been completed. So we come in and we ask that we want to know where the money is being spent, how it's being spent, where has it been spent, and if it's going to be continued to be spent on what it was intended on. We know that Mr. Mills, Mr. Cervantes, Jaime Cervantes, Paco Cervantes, which are teachers from the ag program, have wrote grants to have this farm funded, and it hasn't been completed. Like they said, that our students are carrying buckets of water. They shouldn't. They're running on nothing, right? So we just want to make sure that you guys are aware, because we have brought it up several times. And, you know, the fact that some of our teachers have also wanting to do more grants and the principal hasn't signed off on it. What's the reason for that? So we want answers, and not only as community members, but as parents and as a leader from a union from another college that I work for. We're here to make sure that the money is being spent where it's supposed to be spent for our students. I had a bunch of stuff that I was going to say, but I'm really nervous. But the bottom point is that we want accountability, right? We want to know where the money is being spent on. We want a current status of FROM project, how it's been allocated, what grant has been funding the stuff that's been already done, a timeline of when it's going to be finished, additional why are we denied or were the teachers denied to be able to do grant funds again. And then we're going to have somebody else talk more about that. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is David Gonzalez, I believe. David? Welcome.
Good evening, members of Kern High School District Board and Superintendent. My name is David Gonzalez. I am an ag alumni currently working in the farming industry. I'm here tonight to address a critical, costly, and entirely preventable issue at the Arvin High School 40-acre farm, the systemic failure of the properly maintain our alfalfa field. Alfalfa is a vital source that directly impacts the financial survival of our students' agricultural projects. Because the site has failed to implement proper weed control and spraying program, the field yield has plummeted. Weeds are choking out the alfalfa. As a direct result, the program has been forced to buy roughly $50,000 worth of hay. Let that sink in. $50,000 of student money is being drained away because of a failure in basic field maintenance. Furthermore, my understanding is that the district now contracts out spraying 3 times a year for about $20,000, and it's not working. When the previous farm manager cared for it, it only cost a couple $1,000s a year, and the yields were significantly higher. This is money that should be going towards student enrichment and learning opportunities. The solution is already available. We understand the district has constraints regarding chemical applications, but there are clear, legal, and safe pathways to fix this. First, if the district limits Roundup applications to 3 times a year, there are safe, targeted chemicals like Raptor that can easily be added to the district's approved list provided to the state. This would control the specific weed pressures killing our crop, but the time is of the essence that paperwork must be filed by July 1st. Second, the district has been sitting on expert guidance for over a year. Last year, a letter from a professional agronomist was shared to the school site administration, and the Ag TOSA is explicitly stated that a legal prescription can be written to use Roundup more frequently to save the field. All the district needs is to provide the specific parcel number for the land so the script can be written. To this date, the simple step hasn't been taken. I have a copy of that letter to share with you tonight. Third, a district employee can obtain a PCA, which is an agricultural pest control license, to spray this field. The previous farm manager had this certification. Additionally, the school site has informed the farm manager that he must limit watering during the growing season. It is imperative that the fields are irrigated properly. We have provided the expert advice, identified the chemicals, and had an agronomist and farming partners ready to help. The only thing missing is the district's action. We respectfully request that the superintendent and the board direct staff locate watering issue, provide the necessary parcel number, approve the additional weed control chemicals before the July 1st deadline, establish a consistent maintenance schedule, and look into certifications. We are here to help you. Thank you.
Next speaker is Nancy Nagarete.
Dear members of the board, my name is Nancy Negrete and I am the parent of a child enrolled in the Ag Livestock Program. I am here to address ongoing concerns regarding the program and the current conditions of the farm facilities. It is unfortunate that the issues I have observed at the farm continue to go unresolved, with timelines for improvements repeatedly changing or remaining unclear. One of my primary concerns is the condition of the roads and pathways within the farm area. My child is enrolled in special education and experiences challenges with balance and mobility. Uneven or safe walking surfaces significantly increase the risk of falls and injuries, not only for my child, but for other students as well. I have pictures to share with you. Additionally, students are expected to transport heavy 5-gallon water buckets as part of their daily activities. While fostering responsibility is an important aspect of agriculture education, student safety must remain the top priority. I believe the school should provide safe, appropriate accommodations and resources rather than relying on students to navigate potentially hazardous conditions. What concerns me the most is that these issues create unnecessary barriers to participation. No child, including my daughter, should be prevented from fully participating in a program due to safety concerns or lack of accessibility. The Ag Livestock program has had a tremendous positive impact on my daughter. It has helped her feel included, accepted, and successful in many ways that other programs have not. Because of this, I was shocked to learn that the Agriculture Department was stripped of its department chair status by the principal, reportedly for missing a couple of meetings. These absences occurred because of the agricultural teachers were actively working on the farm, attending the other student-related agricultural activities. These are the very same teachers that show up unpaid for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and weekends to take care of the students in the farm. As a parent, I am asking the board to address the lack of equity and accessibility within the Ag Livestock program for both teachers and students. Please provide a clear plan and timeline for resolving these concerns. All students deserve equal access to educational opportunities in a safe environment, regardless of their abilities. I would like to address the trustee, Mr. Manriquez. You attended the Arvin High School graduation. In your speech, you stated that you were always happy to return to Arvin High School. I hope that you will consider our concerns and help the small town that once was your home. My husband's company, Veolia, which I see also on this, he's a worker for Veolia. They donated $12,000 because my husband pushed that because our daughters, like I mentioned, special education, and we've seen the tremendous impact that the teachers have made for especially our daughter and the way that they help. And we would like to know if we can get an answer where this money has gone, because we have no idea. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our final speaker is Tamara Mills. Is it a Miss Mills?
Good evening, and congratulations on your award. Good evening, members of the board, superintendent, and community members. My name is Tamara Mills. For 20 years, I have been a cleared volunteer for the Kern High School District. And I have contributed a significant amount of time, resources, and financial support to the Arvin Ag program, because I believe in the opportunity that this program can give students. Excuse me. As there has been many troubling issues with the principal and the vice principal of instruction, I would not be standing before you today if the principal had not directly targeted me. On a recent weekend, I volunteered my time at the school farm. Instead of graciousness, I was met with hostility. The principal sent a directive through email falsely accusing me of taking a weekend shift when no request for payment from any ag staff was made. This leads me to the 36-day stipend. The 36-day stipend is not enough days to provide for care of farm by teachers in any farm of this Kern High School District. This stipend originally was to provide summer hours due to fair projects, but is now utilized, and by all right, by ag teachers for FFA activities throughout the year that go beyond their contract. It was not meant for school administration to demand ag teachers to cover farm duties on holidays and weekends unpaid. This creates an inequity for teachers that manage an outdoor lab. A solution that many school districts have provided is a separate farm stipend and an FFA stipend, or a 12-month contract for ag teachers that have farms. Our agriculture department is faced with unnecessary barriers and administration harassment from the principal, the vice principal of instruction, and possibly some members of human resources. For example, an ag teacher was placed on administrative leave for accusations in which he had prior administrative approval. And instead of the principal being held accountable for the mistruths that led to the leave, he was supported in the continued harassment of the ag teachers and the program. This year, a cleared, long-term substitute volunteered to coach a judging team was informed she could not accompany the students to the competition without an ag teacher present. The administration stated the denial was because she is not compensated. However, the ag teacher that did attend, so the students may have this opportunity, was also uncompensated. Furthermore, this policy seems inconsistent with how many sports programs are managed. The administration not only creates barriers for students, but opportunities, but prevents our students to shine publicly. Case in point, the Arvin Ag program was recently recognized at the California Partnership Academy meeting in Sacramento for their outstanding community service. Was this celebrated by the principal at any recent board meetings? They also attended the Peak Awards, where the Ag students won a community service award. But instead of taking a picture with the Arvin Ag students, the principal was sending harassing after-hour emails to Ag staff. As public trustees, we entrust you to ensure policies and programs remain focused on what is best for students. I respectfully ask for clarification regarding the written policies governing parent and volunteer involvement on farms, as well as policies regarding volunteer coaches. These questions represent only a small glimpse of a much larger problem. We welcome continued conversation and clarity regarding the future of the Arvin FFA program, but most importantly, the conversations that will build up student success. All these people that are here, even more, are here to help you. And we're here to help make that program and those children a success. So please, reach out to us, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Next agenda item is reports of district organizations. Kern High Teachers Association, Kathy Adams. I don't see Kathy. We'll go to CSEA Chapter 81, Carlos Flores, our president. Welcome.
Good evening. John Paredes for CSEA, representing Carlos Flores tonight in our CSEA Chapter 81. Good evening, distinguished board members, and good evening, distinguished administrators of our superintendency. On behalf of Chapter 81, CSEA Chapter 81, I would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to both our certificated and classified retirees. Your dedicated service to our Kern High School District, your respective campuses, and the work sites, and the students and families that you represent are deeply valued, and your commitment has a long-lasting effect in our community and sets a standard that we are proud to uphold. We would like to extend all of you board members here tonight to our CSCA end of the year honors and recognition dinner this Friday evening at Hodell's. Check-in is at 5 o'clock, dinner from 5:30 to 6:30, and then immediately following will be our dinner and awards and retiree recognition. We are sorry that we had another date, but due to a conflict of schedules, we had to reschedule for this Friday evening. So again, we extend a heartfelt invitation to all of you this Friday night. If you could join us, we would love to have you there as our guests. Friday evening at 5:30. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next organization would be CSEA Chapter 901, our police officers, Mark Calvillo. Our next group would be CSEA Chapter 747, our transportation group. Anyone wishing to speak tonight? Our next group is Kern High School District Management and Confidential Association, Roman Aguilar, president. And finally, Labor's International North America Local 777, our Skilled Trades Unit, D. Are any organizations, employee groups that have not been called? Seeing none, we'll move on to Board of Trustees reports or inquiries. Start with Steve.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and want to first start off by congratulating all our retirees. What a great accomplishment, and I'm sure they have great things to share in the future, and hopefully they do. A lot of them seem to want to stay, be outdoors and have fun and just continue to be involved in the community, and I appreciate that. I applaud that. Beyond that, looks like we're into the second week of summer school. Look forward to everybody getting their summer wrapped up, and I kind of like this new format. 4 weeks gives the kids a little more decompressed time those last 4 weeks before we get back to the grind in late August. So, and then to everybody that came out and speak tonight, I really appreciate you sharing with us. We obviously can't be everywhere all the time, so we appreciate your feedback, and it allows us to help look into your concerns, and hopefully we can address them. Appreciate you guys all. Thanks.
Thank you. Congratulations to the retirees. Christy Holder, 49 years. I was 18 when she got hired. That's awesome. I just want to echo what Steve said, and the fact that the community, when you guys come out and talk to us, like the cheerleaders and what's going on, we don't know that, but that's why it's so important for you guys to come here and tell us, because we like to fix stuff. And so I like to hear about that from the community. Catalina, thank you so much. You're very well spoken, and you've obviously done your research. And so I echo your concerns about parental notification on the ID cards and stuff like that, and that's something that we need to take a hard look at, and thank you for bringing that to our attention. I just want to say congratulations to our graduates. It's hard to believe that the year's already gone by, and we're in the middle of summer school. So have a safe summer. Thank you very much.
Good evening. First, I want to congratulate all the retirees, and I know there was a lot that didn't show up, and congratulating those also. Also for our graduation that we had the pleasure of attending 3 graduations, one in the rain. That was kind of exciting. Never seen that before. I kind of was chewed out at how it sounded. It's like a football game. Let's just go out there and graduate. The kids were pumped up. But no, we couldn't do that. Also, just thank you for everybody that attended that graduation, whether it was at Shafter, at Golden Valley, or wherever it was on that Wednesday that it was raining. Thank you for your patience. Some of our parents had been sitting out there since 4:30, and when we got started Golden Valley, it was 7:30 when we started that graduation. And just the loyalty that you have to your graduate as a parent or a guardian, it was awesome. It was awesome to see that when we seen our kids coming out, all that rain, all that kind of anxiety that we were wet, it all went away. It went away for our parents. They've been working for 13 years, because I include TK, to get them to high school. And thank you so much. And also for all our speakers that are out here. I know one of them said that I said that I wouldn't miss it. I am not a former resident of Lamont. I still live there. And I will stay there for the rest of my life. Grew up in Wheat Patch, and I will not move out of that town. I just want you guys to understand that, that the current high school district is looking into this. This is not something that's going to be swept under the rug. Transparency is what this board preaches. And we want to make sure that we get out there and look at what's going on and meet with our parents. And because every time we come together is for the benefit of our students. As adults, whatever decisions we make, it will affect positively or negatively to our students. And also our cheerleaders. I want to say thank you. My daughter was a cheerleader when she was in high school. I understand how hard you guys work. And I never looked at it. It was 2 seasons. People don't look at that you start in June and you end up in February, and everything in between. So as adults out here, we have personnel that's going to be looking into that. Can't guarantee you the outcome. It might not be the outcome that you want, but this board is driven to making sure that our students are well represented out in the field as well as in the classroom. And just be patient with us in everything that came out in today's meeting. This is what we like to, as a board, to come across and have dialogue like this. What are we going to do to better our students in the current high school district? This is what we love because it's affecting our students, and we want to make sure that they have a great experience, because if they do, our parents and guardians and grandparents will also. And congratulations to all the graduates that we have, and hopefully we hit that 10,000 mark. Dr. Gofa?
Did we hit that 10,000? Yeah. Not yet?
Not yet, but we're going to hit it here. And then also to our student board member. She has one more meeting. She didn't know she had one more meeting. She has one more meeting. And this will be her last board meeting in a couple of weeks. And she's off to UC Irvine. And we're so grateful to have our student reps. And if you don't know how that position came about, it had nothing, we wanted to take credit as adults, but it was not the adults. It was student-driven by students from Centennial that brought this to the board, and they moved forward with it, and they're the ones that you can thank for having a student representative, a student voice up on the diocese. Thank you so much.
David? Ms. Gruder?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank all the attendees today. Like the other board member said, we really need to hear what's going on out there. And we appreciate you coming, and we hear every word you say. We write down notes, and we surely refer to the proper admin to take care of these needs. So our retirees, probably the stars of the show tonight, thank you so much for your dedication. I could tell when Ms. Greger read the comments that they wrote themselves, how much they really love the students that they took care of all those many years. So that really came through, that they just care so much about the kids and have those memories in their hearts. So that's really a wonderful thing to hear from our employees. Congratulations to the 2026 graduates. It was a graduation we will never forget. It was unusual May weather. There's a video on our website that shows the graduations of every single one of our high schools, and it's a beautifully done. I think I know who did it back there in the back. Yes, thank you. It's a really well done video, and if you haven't seen it, take some time. It shows thousands of happy, excited young people that are going to be making a future for all of us. So it's something that's great to look at. I want to thank also Principal Jody Leffler and her staff for giving me a great tour of the Bakersfield Adult School. I learned a lot about the resources and the opportunities that we offer our students. And finally, as we close the 2025-26 school year, I'd like to express my appreciation to Dr. Zolfa and his administrative team for your hard work and your exemplary leadership. The more I learn about the enormity of your job, the more I appreciate the work that you do for our students. So thank you. You don't get many thanks, so we appreciate you. Okay, it's up to you.
So I was under the impression that this was my last board meeting, but I guess not. I'll be back on June 22nd. And I'm actually not leaving until September 18th, I want to say. So I might come back to see Brandon be appointed to the board if he invites me. We'll see. My graduation was in the rain, and it was freezing cold. It was so cold. Our gowns didn't help at all. We were all shivering. But walking across the stage definitely warmed us up. We were all very excited. It was after graduating, I feel relieved. Like there's like 200 pounds were taken off my shoulders. I've probably gained like 20 pounds from being so free and having nothing to do and just getting to relax for the first time. And I think I've been going to school for 15 years, from preschool through senior year.
And you have
That's
a long way to
and
go.
I have 7 more years, so it's not over yet. I'll save my long speech for 3 weeks from now, I guess, or 2 weeks from now. Yeah, but that's all I have for today.
Great, well, thank you. I guess just quickly, I'd like to thank our parents and supporters who came out from Arvin. You raised several different issues, and I think our superintendency will be working on those. But if you end up having difficulty or for staff, I've accessed the PCA as a crop advisor who are licensed to write essentially prescriptions for chemicals and so forth. And so I've got access to those through our farming operation. So if we need something to do it, just let me know and I'll introduce you to someone. And I think there's a good chance that Grimway's right out in that area, and they have a dozen agronomists and experts. I'm sure we could find someone there to introduce you to, and someone might adopt our campus there. So let us know what we need to do. Thank you. We'll move on to Superintendent's office. Dr. Sullivan.
Thank you. I've got 3 items tonight. The first one is a second reading and approval. So recommendation that the board take action to approve the board policies as presented at the last board meeting. Those policies have been available for review in the superintendent's office for the past month. And so at this time, I'd ask that the board take action.
Okay, motion to approve?
Second.
A motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carried.
Thank you. My next item tonight is just a first reading. So tonight we'll be submitting to you for receipt the board policy regarding child care and development, and which will be available for review, and then at the next board meeting we'll ask for adoption there. So just presenting that item tonight. And then the last item I have is a request for an adoption of a resolution calling upon the state of California to develop a comprehensive state-level plan to support local education agencies and closing student achievement gaps. Currently in Sacramento, there is a bit of a dispute as to who is in charge and who has authority over public education. Concerns regarding the governor's office, the state superintendent of public instruction, a potential new appointee of the governorship, the state board of education, as well as the legislature. So at this time, I'm requesting the board take action to call upon a resolution to provide specific goals to the local education agencies, such as the Kern High School District, and to provide us the resources and let us do our work in order to ensure that we meet the needs of our students using local control for those actions.
Yes.
I'd like to add just a couple things to this. So David and I are both actively involved in our state association, California School Board Association, and this has been a big push recently. So you guys all recognize that we get graded each year, right? There's state dashboards, so on and so forth. But Sacramento doesn't grade themselves. So they don't grade themselves as how well they're doing in supporting us through the initiatives they're required to support us through. In fact, one might argue that's more of a enforcement branch but no help hotline, if you will. So wouldn't it be nice if you could call up and say, hey, here's this little situation, like how do we fill out this form? Do we check box 1 or check box 2? And instead of saying, well, read your form again, it'd be nice for somebody to answer the phone and give us a little clarification. So that's kind of the synopsis of this. It's just, as they continue to, there's several resolutions, there's several bills going through the House and the Senate concurrently that discuss these issues. There's about 4 right now. As they continue to revise and align those, we want them to think about who their customer is, and it's us. So we'll retain local control, but we are their customer. We're not here to just report back to them numbers they're giving us.
Thank you. So this is an action item.
Yes, please.
We need a motion.
Motion.
Second?
Motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That concludes my report this evening.
Mr. Holland.
Good evening, trustees. For our first item, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees receive the Williams uniform complaints for the second quarter report for 2025 for the period of April 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025, to be filed with the Kern County Superintendent of Schools Office. This report will rectify a clerical error from last year. The Williams et al. Versus State of California case was filed as a class action lawsuit in 2000, brought in San Francisco County Superior Court on behalf of San Francisco County students. The suit was filed against the state of California and state education agencies, including the California Department of Education. The basis of the lawsuit was that agencies failed to provide public school students with equal access to instructional materials, safe and decent school facilities, and qualified teachers. Because of the Williams legislation, schools must meet the requirements of Education Code 35186, which addresses the process and resolution for complaints concerning deficiencies related to instructional materials, emergency or urgent facilities conditions that pose a threat to health and safety of students or staff, and teacher vacancies or misassignments. There were no complaints received during this period, but the report will now be appropriately filed with the county. For our second item, I invite Mr. Robert Moore, our Director of Student, Family, and Community Engagement, to the podium to provide a report on the Local Control Accountability Plan for the 26-27 school year.
Good evening, board members and superintendency. Tonight, I'm pleased to present the draft of the 26-27 LCAP and share how our investments and stakeholders' input are creating greater opportunities for student success. And by way of information, this is the third year of the 3-year cycle for the LCAP. So we'll be starting a new one next year. This is just a glimpse into the opportunities we're creating for youth mentoring, career technical education programs, family engagement to help every student succeed and discover their future. Through 5 goals, 33 actions, we're strategically investing more than $517 million to support the diverse needs of our 36,000 unduplicated students across the Kern High School District. With 95% of our students qualified as unduplicated, Kern Workforce Academy strategically invests $2.4 million across 25 actions to support student success also. These 4 LCAP goals guide all of our work: student readiness, exceptional staff, safe and supportive schools, and strong family partnerships. Together, they create the conditions for every student to succeed. The LCAP draft is organized into key sections that guide our work, from budget transparency and stakeholder engagement to goals, actions, and services that support student success. Goal 1 focuses on attracting, developing, and retaining highly qualified staff through class size reduction, professional development, instructional coaching, teacher recruitment, and supporting programs such as KHIP and our expanded Kern High Teacher Residency Program. Goal 2 ensures students have access to the resources and supports they need to succeed through English Learner Services, literacy and learning interventions, summer programs, instruction, literacy and learning intervention, summer programs, instructional technologies, intervention resources, safe and well-maintained learning environments. Goal 3 prepares students for success after graduating by expanding access to career technical education, college and career readiness programs, dual enrollment opportunities, academic support, and resources that help students achieve their post-secondary goals. Goal 4 focuses on creating positive, supportive school environments where students can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Through our PBIS and multi-tiered systems of support framework, we provide a continuum of services that include intervention, prevention, and intensive support for students who need it. These efforts are strengthened by interventionists, substance abuse specialists, social workers, counselors, and community-based programs that help address student needs. We also invest in parent and family engagement through parent centers, outreach initiatives, educational option supports, and partnerships with our community organizations. Goal 5 focuses on improving outcomes for students attending our continuation schools by increasing engagement, attendance, literacy, and mathematic achievement and graduation rates. Through targeted academic interventions, personalized support, and programs are designed to keep students connected to school, where we are helping students stay on track towards graduation while also reducing suspensions and strengthening overall student success. The next 4 slides will highlight proposed one-time investments and/or continued LCAP expenditures for 26-27, including additional supports for PLC leadership, expanded library and computer lab hours at continuation sites, co-teaching and UDL learning environments, and increased support for new teachers through the current high school teacher residency program. We'll also continue utilizing Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant funds to support summer intervention services. This slide highlights teacher-led initiatives, support for increased administrative staffing at high-need schools, community school planning and infrastructure, expanded mentoring opportunities through AmeriCorps, and targeted resources for continuation schools serving students with the greatest need. Together, these investments strengthen student support systems and help advance equitable outcomes across the district. Continuing with new and expanded or the continued expenditures, these identifies including class size reduction, personal finance instruction, library resources, universal design for learning environments, academic teams and clubs, community school implementation, and activities that increase student engagement and connectedness. A specific example of this is the increased student engagement includes our ASB card initiative, whereby all students had free access to go to their school site athletic events as they chose. This last slide regarding the newer expended or continued expenditures includes identifying student support, school safety, and family engagement. Key investments include expanding MTSS and PBIS supports, mental health and nursing resources, and professional development for staff, human trafficking awareness training. We are also enhancing parent and family centers supporting community school implementation, expanded mentoring and school culture initiatives, and improving attendance recovery efforts, strengthening data-informed practices to better monitor student outcomes, and guiding continuous improvement across the district. A key component of the LCAP development process is meaningful engagement with our educational partners. Throughout the year, we gather input through public forums, advisory councils, student voice opportunities, surveys, and community meetings. The feedback received from students and families and staff and community members helps shape our priorities, guide our investments, and ensure our actions reflect the needs of those we serve. Educational partners emphasized in the comments along the way the need for stronger literacy and math intervention, increased supports for English learners, expanded student wellness and mentoring programs, greater family engagement, continued investment in college and career readiness. Their feedback directly informs the actions and investments included throughout the 26-27 LCAP. In closing, this draft of the LCAP reflects the voices of our students, our families, our staff, and our community partners. It represents a continued commitment to provide equal opportunities, strong support, and meaningful pathways to support every student. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'd like to just highlight one thing. I want to really hit on one thing you said. So this is year 3 of our LCAP, right?
Yes.
So going into next school year for the 20s, towards the end of this calendar year, we'll be drafting 27-28 school year, and that'll be a baseline LCAP. So those meetings, those groups, those meetings, those community forums he's talking about, I strongly encourage everybody to get involved, because that's when you're creating that baseline for how that funding is spent at the local level.
Yes, and you're absolutely correct. We do those at site meetings as well as district meetings throughout the year, all over the district.
And then the other thing I'd like to add real quick, I believe Goal 5, that was added last year, right? The continuation schools?
Yeah, it's not measured on the benchmarks, but
Not
yes.
yet, but I'm sure it's coming. So another thing.
Great opportunity for kids.
Yep. Continue to get involved. Those schools I had the opportunity to attend the continuation school graduation, and the kids that end up at that school and graduate successfully from it are just besides themselves excited because they didn't think they were going to get there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We are. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Moore, and I hope you feel better.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mrs. Scrivener, did you have a question?
No.
No, it's okay.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Moore.
Rather have we did her question.
Yeah.
For our third and final item, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees conduct a public hearing at which the governing board shall encourage participation of the public interested in the affairs of the school district to give input and make comments on the proposed LCAP for the Workforce Academy and the Kern High School District for the 26-27 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Holland. Now's the time and place set for a public hearing on the proposed local control and accountability plan, LCAP, for the Workforce Academy and the Kern High School District for the 2026-2027 school year. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Our next item is Scott Odelin with our Educational Services.
Thank you, President Beatty. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees recognize Kern High School District students of the senior class of 2026 who, along with completing the required coursework to graduate from the Kern High School District, also completed required college coursework to earn an associate's degree from Bakersfield College. A copy of the list of the early college graduates with their areas of study is attached as public content. We have previously discussed this as an activity report last month, so congrats again to all those early college graduates. That concludes my items.
Thank you. We'll move to Human Resources. Megan Greger.
Good evening. I have two items for your consideration. For my first item, it is recommended the Board of Trustees approve a resolution regarding the submission of an application by the Kern High School District for a provisional internship permit to the California Department of Education for certain public certificated employees.
Okay, that's action item. Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. For my second item, prior to discussion and action related to the contracts for non-represented employees, state law requires a brief summary of key compensation and contract provisions. The key provisions of the contract are as follows. These contracts will be effective from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. The salary for the superintendent in 2026 through 2027 will be $395,000 and $445. The salary for the associate superintendent of instruction in 2026 and 2027 will be $258,000 and $550. The salary for the associate superintendent of human resources in 2026, 2027 will be $250,000, $373. The salary for the assistant superintendent of educational services and innovative programs in 2026 and 2027 will be $238,310. The salary for the assistant superintendent of business in 2026, 2027 will be $238,310. The superintendent, as well as the associates and assistants, will be entitled to all other stipends, including car and cell phone allowances, which will remain intact. Health and welfare benefits will be the same as other certificated employees.
That's an action item. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And our final group then, I believe, is Dr. Seals.
Good evening. One of our Measure E bond projects is providing a permanent facility for Central Valley Continuation High School. This requires a new PG&E power service to this location along East Tulare Avenue in Shafter. This 13-foot by 16-foot easement will allow PG&E to install and maintain a transformer. I ask that you hold a public hearing on this easement.
Thank you. Now's the time and place set for a public hearing to receive comments regarding the grant of an easement authorized conveyance of an electrical, gas, and communication easement over certain district property at Central Valley Continuation High School to Pacific Gas and Electric Company. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Thank you. Now, after meeting all the requirements for postings and a public hearing pursuant to Education Code 17559, I ask for your approval of the resolution authorizing this easement.
We have staff's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. For my next item, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees open a public hearing to receive comments on the use of revenues derived from the Proposition 30 Education Protection Account, or EPA, as described in Article 13, Section 36F of the California State Constitution. EPA funds are part of our overall LCFF allocation, but we are required to adopt a separate EPA spending resolution and publish our expenditure report each year. I ask that you hold a public hearing.
Okay, let me get my, there it is, public hearing. Now's the time and place for a public hearing on the Proposition 30 Education Protection Account. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve a resolution on funds received from the Education Protection Account. If approved as represented, the resolution will authorize the district to spend all of the estimated EPA revenue of $133 million in the 25-26 year on teacher salaries and benefits. I ask for your approval.
We have staff's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next, I would like to invite Greg Hicks to the podium to present the Special Education Local Plan Area SELPA Annual Budget and Service Plan. This plan will identify projected revenues and expenditures as allowed by the IDEA for instruction and related services to students with disabilities. This is an information item only. Thank you, Greg.
Good evening. Tonight I'd like to give you an overview of our projected budget and proposed budget for special education for the next school year. The first slide here is how we compare with other districts across the state with our student groups and by disability. As you can see, the latest data we have from the California Department of Education is from 2023-24, and the data on the left is the current school year of 25-26. We align mostly across the board with our students with disabilities. There are a few categories that were a little high, and that is our students with specific learning disabilities. We're about 10% higher than the state average. And students with intellectual disabilities were about 8% higher than the state average. Here we take a look at our estimated expenditures for the fiscal year 26. As you can see, 86% of that comes with salaries and benefits, with the other being operating expenses, books and supplies, and direct supports and indirects. This gives us a look at where our money comes from. In the three different categories, we have the local funding, which makes up the majority of it, about 60% projected next year. As you can see, it stays consistent throughout the years. In the red is the federal funding. It's about 8%. And then we have 33% for local funding. And excuse me, I'm going to go back. It's 7% projected from the federal government this year. This gives us a look at the last few years as far as our spending and where we've come in. We've budgeted the last few years and where we landed on that. This year, coming year, we're projected to spend, $138,795,000 is what we spent last year. $138 million, excuse me. We served a total of 5,326 students across our programs and our comprehensive campuses. This does not include the nearly 500 students at ABLE in our adult transition program that we have as well. The good news is we get some of this money back. It goes directly into the general fund. Last year we recouped about $5.7 million in Medi-Cal billing. Their students with IEPs were allowed for some of the services that we provide to seek some of that money back, and that came back to us in 2026, $5,725,000, projecting $5.5 million next year. The last slide is just an overview of the budget projection and where the revenues come from. $11,079,000 from the state, federal, 45 or almost 46 million from the state, and nearly 5 million from local, which gives us a $61,937,525 in total revenues. The general fund contribution is expected to be $77,792,531, bringing the total expenditures to $139,730,056. Total students expected to be served, and this does include the able students for next year, is 5,884. And that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees conduct a public hearing and receive public comments on the adoption of the Kern High School District proposed SELPA annual budget and service plan for the 26-27 school year.
Thank you, Dr. Seals. We'll now open a public hearing of the Kern High School District proposed SELPA annual budget and service plan for the 2026-2027 school year. Those wishing to speak to this matter, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Okay, for my next agenda item, I have a presentation on the governor's May revision to the state budget proposal and an overview of the Kern High School District proposed budget for 26-27. The last few months have been budget development season in the Fiscal Services Department, and especially the last month since the May governor released his May revise on May 14th, highlighting changes from his original January state budget proposal. Tonight, I will highlight those changes, and I will discuss the local control funding formula factors and assumptions we are using to build the 26-27 budget, as well as an overview of our projected revenues and expenditures for next year. Since the January proposal, with more months of tax receipts, including the large amounts of personal income tax collected in April, the Department of Finance is upgrading the state revenue projections over the 3-year budget window. We often talk about the big 3 taxes of corporation tax, personal income tax, and sales tax. Personal income taxes are always the largest share of the state revenue and are higher than expected due to strong capital gains collections. This increase in state revenue mandates an increase in Prop 98 funding, the money constitutionally guaranteed to education in California. This allows the governor's budget proposal to continue to invest in existing programs and while also proposing welcomed and long-awaited increase in special education funding. Their May revision maintains funds to expand the community schools model and support existing grantees and new community schools with a unduplicated pupil percent of 65% or more. There's also a proposed one-time discretionary funding for LEAs along with $10.3 billion contribution to the Prop 98 reserve, which will be saved for when state revenues are not as strong as they are this year. One new item from the May revised is the proposed paid pregnancy disability leave for educational agency employees. This will be paid for out of the district ongoing LCFF funding. The cost of living adjustment, or COLA, is intended to cover all the costs associated with educating our students. This includes, but is not limited to, the cost of staffing and materials, utilities, insurance, and services for students. The cost of doing business for the employer and employee are going up, and it's this new ongoing revenue generated by the COLA that are used to cover these costs. Go back real quick here. COLA. A year ago when we were having our budget presentation, the projected COLA for 26-27 was 3.02% based on the available data points. Now with all the data points in, the COLA will be 2.87% for next year. In addition, the May revise proposes another 1.44% of the LCFF base grant as an additional investment in schools to help cover rising costs, including the paid pregnancy disability leave. All right, so here are the key takeaways from the May revise. It shows strong support for education and existing programs. However, we do have a new proposed mandate which will need to be budgeted for out of the new augmented revenue. And we are still facing increasing healthcare costs that I will highlight in a couple slides. There's always risk to the California economy, and that is based on who pays the taxes. The budget out years do rely on continued economic and stock market growth. In addition, the governor proposes increased Medi-Cal expenditures, approximately $25 billion or 13% from last year. The pressure on the non-education side of the state budget is contributing to the state's structural budget challenges. All right, LCFF. This is what makes up the LCFF base grants that are increased by COLA, a grade span adjustment for 9-12 education, and then the supplemental concentration grant, which Mr. Moore talked about earlier, that are in our LCAP. That's our ongoing revenue. I had a couple graphs this time that I haven't showed before. I thought these were interesting from School Services of California. This does show the increase in Prop 98 funding over the last 12 years. The orange section represents the amount that is the LCFF, our time. The bottom chart shows the primary driver of this is the nearly 500% increase in health and welfare costs during this time frame, along with supplies and services that outpace COLA. This chart clearly shows the pressures faced by school districts in certain areas of expenses, especially health care costs. All right, let's talk about what it means for Kern High. So our allocation is $12,423 per student. With the additional 2.87% COLA, the grade span adjustment, that brings us to $13,117 per ADA, average daily attendance, plus the supplemental concentration grant funding. So these are the assumptions we're using for building our budget. It's in the yellow oval there for 26-27. Notice our enrollment. We are expected to decline in enrollment next year by about 500 students, and then tick back up a little bit and plateau in the following years. While all employees contribute to their retirement 8 or 10%, depending on what group they're in, the district pays the largest share, 19.1% for CalSTRS members and 26.4% of the salary for CalPERS members. So what are we expected to spend and receive and spend next year? Here's our projected revenues for the 26-27 fiscal year. We expect $688 million in LCFF funding, $45.4 million in federal funding, and $184 in other state revenue, and $7.3 million in local revenues, for a total of $925 million of revenue. The largest share of this is the local control funding formula. This slide shows how much we're expected to spend in the 26-27 year. On the expense side, we are projecting $727.7 million in salaries and benefits, $53.3 million in books and supplies, $85 million in services and other expenses, and $79.8 million in capital outlay, for a total of $946 million. Usually salaries and benefits hover around 80%. This year it dropped slightly due to one-time dollars being expended in the capital outlay and other categories. These charts remove the capital outlay, but show, since special one-time funding sources make up a large part of the capital outlay. In this chart, you can see on the right that salaries and benefits make up 90% of the district when the capital outlay is removed. Compared to 10 years ago, the chart on the left, we do see a 4% point increase in the share of employee benefits, which are projected to cost $241 million next year. And my final graph here is just a breakdown of the certificated versus classified versus management personnel cost. Teachers make up 60% of salary costs, while classified employees make up 33%, and management makes up 7%. So here are the next steps. By this Monday, the legislature's budget is due to the governor. We'll be back here in 2 weeks with another public hearing, and we'll also ask for the adoption of the district budget. If there are no questions, my next item is the public hearing.
Okay, we're one more public hearing. Now's the time and place set for a hearing on the adoption of the proposed Kern High School District annual budget 2026-2027. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. And I believe the last item would be our consent agenda. Do we have a motion on the consent?
Motion. Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And we're adjourned. Thank you.